Hi everyone, I'm Andre, and welcome back to the Ghostfly Podcast. The podcast that brings you stories from actual paranormal activities from people who experienced them. Also, my ghost stories from a place that I lived in called The House. You're not going to want to miss this.
When I heard that, I looked at my daughter and she dropped her sandwich just like that. And my son grabbed her and said it was okay. And she just sitting there looking at the door. Hi everyone, how you doing? I'm Andre and welcome to the Ghostfly Podcast. Let's go ahead and jump right into it, all right? In this episode right here, I'm going to tell you about my daughter, the youngest one, the one that had things going on and she's starting to get aware of something's going on in the house. That one, all right? But first, what I need from you guys, help me out a little bit. Those of you guys that are watching or listening, please subscribe and press the like button. That'll help me out a lot. Okay, let's go ahead and do the story. So right now, at that time, my daughter's 4 years old. She's a young set of five. She's 4 years old. And I remember I was in I think it was a family room. And she comes walking in through the door in the house. And she's holding a little kitten. You know, a little kitten, just a little kitten. And I have nothing wrong with, nothing against kittens or cats. It's just that I know that there's a couple people in the house that are allergic to cats. So I thought there was going to be the issue. And, well, apparently there was no issue. My wife said it was okay and whatever. You know, it's kind of strange to me, but that was okay. I was okay with it. So she's got this little kittens running around, you know, hiding, doing all this stuff. You know, we had to clean the kitten up and whatnot. And I remember asking her, I go, where'd you get that kitten from? And she said that the neighbors was having a yard sale and she came home with the kitten. And I was like, well, how much you pay for the kitten? She goes, no, they're giving the kittens away free at the yard sale. So I don't know. I think she got hoodwinked, but she came home with the kitten. So later on, it was No. About a week later, that's what it is. About a week later was Thanksgiving. And we're all sitting down at the table, big long table. The family's there. I got my in-laws there, and we're all sitting around the table. And to my left, it's like this. I'll paint it for you. So it's the dining room, and then the dining room is open, and it leads to the family room. And then once again, like to my left, right here is like the master bedroom. Okay, so we're all sitting around on this big old table and we're ready to get our grub on, stuff like that. For some reason, I don't know why, but she wanted to sit at the end of the table way over there. You know, like at the end of the table way over there. My in-laws and the family's right here and my wife's right here. But she wanted to sit way at the end, like directly across from me. And my middle son was right next to her. And so before we brought the food out and everything, I put the kitten inside the master bedroom. I remember putting it in there. I remember closing the door so the kitten don't get out, you know, mess with everybody, like begging for food or whatnot. And we're sitting there, we're grubbing. And I looked up and I saw my daughter, and she's like eating a sandwich. I think she put like turkey in like 2 slices of bread, and she's like eating it like this, you know, just eating a sandwich. She's just sitting there eating a sandwich, and she's looking behind me, or to my left, which is a master bedroom door. And I looked over, and the door's opening, and I'm like, what the heck? And I look, and my middle son's right next to her, and he's like looking at me, going like, hey. And she's just eating. I remember she was chewing slowly, and so I looked down, and I saw the kitten, like the door opened probably about like a good 4 inches, maybe 3 inches, and the kitten came out halfway behind the door, and it just kind of stood there. Instead of coming out all the way, it kind of just stood there, and it was just like jarring like this, like the kitten was like this, just jarring, boom, 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 jarring. It looked like somebody was holding it from coming out. And I remember bending down, reaching over, and I kind of shushed the kitten back with my hand like that, shushed it back, and I closed the door. And just a little while later, whatever. And then I looked up, and my son's getting my attention, and he's like looking at me, and he's going like this, like motioning to the door like that. And now I heard the door go, and I looked once again at the door, and the door opened. I mean, dude, how in the heck did a kitten jump up and open the door? There's no way. That's impossible, right? But for some reason, that door opened by itself, and I know what's going on. The family know what's going on, but still, it's just weird, And so, anyways, like the door's opening, and I look down, and here comes the kitten, and once again, it's about 3 inches, maybe 4 inches, and the kitten's halfway out, and then boom, the door slams on the cat, and I'm like, whoa! And I looked up when I heard that, I looked at my daughter, and she dropped her sandwich just like that, and my son grabbed her and said it was okay, and she's just sitting there looking at the door. So what happened is, like, the kitten was coming out, and apparently the door opened a little bit more and slammed on the kitten. Boom! And you hear the kitten, scream, ah, like that. No way. I got up and I looked around the room. Because I'm thinking like, okay, maybe it's that little ghost girl or the little girl, whatever it is, that's in there and it's messing with that kitten. So I looked in the bathroom. I looked in our walk-in closet. I looked around the bed. I looked under the bed. Dude, the kitten shot under the bed, and it was like froze underneath the bed, scared, just looking right at me, just like, it wasn't hissing, but it was just sitting there like up in the ball looking at me like that. And there was nothing in the room. And my daughter came to the room. She goes, what happened to the cat? And I'm like, I don't know. I guess it was the wind or something. The wind opened the door and closed it on the cat. Dude, that didn't happen, man. Not even, man. Because I heard that doorknob turn, and my son was getting my attention, telling me to look at that door because it's moving open. You know what I mean? It's like somebody was opening it, letting the cat out, and slammed it on the kitten. Yeah, that was violent. I don't like that. That was violent. That's something we haven't experienced. I think that was probably like the one, probably the only violent thing that ever happened in that house was that on that kitten. And maybe it didn't like that kitten. I don't know. Whatever it was, maybe it didn't like that kitten. But so I just let the kitten alone. I closed the door, calmed my kid down because she was like, crying and stuff because what she saw. Dude, she's looking at the door, and it's 2 times it opened up on her, and she's eating that sandwich like almost like she know what's going on, but she's just curious. Why is that door opening by itself? Because she knows that kitten ain't jumping up there opening that door. Go figure, man. But she's looking at that thing, and she dropped her sandwich. When that thing slammed on that kitten, she dropped her sandwich and screamed. Just like, you can't even make that up, man. That was something like in the movies, just she dropped it, boom, hits her plate, and she's screaming. My son's reaching over, hey, it's okay, trying to like calm her down, whatever, because she's like emotional and stuff, little kid. So anyways, later on that night, so we get done eating, the family's there, we get done eating, and you know how it is on Thanksgiving, everybody's sitting around at the table, and there's probably just a little bit of food sit on the table, but people mostly cleared up, but there's like little knickknacks, whatever. And my son, the middle one that I was talking about right there, the middle one, his girlfriend comes over, and she lives 1, 2, 3 houses over. Okay, she lives 3 houses over with her family, and by this time, my cousin, which in turn lived right next to me, came over. Her and the kids, I believe the kids came over also, but I remember she was there, and we're all just sitting around, we're talking, the festivities, whatever, but we're all talking and everything. And for some reason, I asked some guys, I go, hey, you guys believe in ghosts? Why I said that, I don't know. It's like conversation or something, I don't know. But I said, you guys believe in ghosts? And they're like, I remember they looked at me like, why would I bring something like that up? But they're like, yeah. And I was like, oh, and my oldest daughter, at this time we're at the table, my oldest daughter is sitting right next to me, all right, on my right side. And I said, you guys believe in ghosts? And they're like, yeah. And then my cousin said, yeah, we have a ghost in our house. And I'm like, what? And then right after her, immediately, my son's girlfriend said, yeah, we have a little ghost in our house too. And I go, wait a minute. And then somebody said, it's a girl. And I was like, no, wait a minute. So at this time, my family knows about the ghost. They know about the little girl I seen and stuff like that in the room. And I tell everybody, you guys don't say nothing. I told the kids, don't say nothing. And my daughter right here, the oldest one, she covered her mouth. She goes, I'm scared, like that. And I go, what was that little girl wearing? And they described that little girl, everything to the T of what that little girl was wearing that was running around in our house, to the T, as far as the hair, what she was wearing, her height, maybe her age, rough guess. And what she said, I don't want to make anything up right here because it's kind of vague as I remember what she said, but she said there's like a little girl that's running around in her house. I don't know what she does, but the little girl's running around the house doing something. All right, so that's number one over there. And then my cousin, the one that's next door, she says that she sees a little girl usually when she's sitting there like watching TV. Okay, she said this. She said she was watching TV and the hallway's right there, and while she's watching TV, she saw a silhouette go by, whoom, just like that. And she figured it was one of the kids. And I remember she said, hey, you guys go to bed. And she gets up and check on the kids, and all the kids are dead asleep, snugged in the bed, dead asleep. And she's like, wait a minute, that's like, it was a little girl, and she got two girls. And at that time, her youngest girl was probably roughly around the same age as the girl that we see run around our neighborhood and stuff, Ghost girl. So anyways, so she thought it was her, and so she checked on her, and well, she's knocked out, she's calling her name, and she's knocked out. And she couldn't believe what she saw. She saw somebody, one of the kids, run by, a silhouette jam by. So that was one time. And then she said that she was once again in the living room, and this is on the other side of the house. She saw a little girl just walk by, like, her peripheral vision. She saw a little girl walk by in the kitchen, and when she looked at her, she barely saw the end of her. Boom, boom, and she thought it was her daughter, the youngest one, because she has two daughters and two boys. So she thought it was the youngest one, and she called out her name, and she didn't answer. She goes, what are you doing? She calls out her name again. She didn't answer in the kitchen. So she gets up, she goes to the kitchen, and nobody's there. And she knows, come on, that's 2 times that happened. So she's figuring, man, is there ghosts in the house? What the heck was that? Because she swore it was her daughter, but she just saw the ghost, the ghost girl, with her peripheral vision. But she called to it, and nobody was there. So that's 3 houses. So that's 3 houses that we know of that that little girl's running around. So something happened. I'll tell you guys later, but something happened. I believe on our property. I gotta get the story straight, but something happened between like my mom's house across the street, 3 houses over, and our house. There's a connection with that little girl right there, and I believe she lived in our house or she lived in that house, but I think she lived in our house and she passed away, and now she's just roaming around and just playing around in the houses, just like there's the kids live there or whatever, and she's visiting kids or whatever, but she's playing, she's running around playing. So that's 3 houses that witnessed that, and I think other houses, that little girl was running around other houses, but they haven't noticed it. You know what I mean? Like I said about that cherry tree and stuff like that. Something's happening, but then once your brain registers something happens, then you start seeing it. You start identifying like, yo, that's something different right there. So yeah, there's activity with that little girl running around. And you know what? Check this out. In another episode, I'm gonna show you guys a picture of the house. I'm gonna scribble out or whatever you do, like make the address. I can't tell you where it's at, but it's here in Northern California. But I can't show you the address. But I'm gonna show you the house. We didn't take a picture of our house like, picture of our house, so beautiful, green grass and all this other stuff. Why would we do that? If anything, we're standing there, in that picture. But On Google, I seen the house and it don't look good. The grass looks like crap. The trees look like crap. It looks haunted. All right. But maybe with the activity with all of our kids probably stirs something up, and in turn we did add on I think 750 square feet to that house. So we tore some things down in that house to make it bigger, because like I said, it was about 750 when we got it, and right away we added another 750, I believe it was 750 to the house. So I think we stirred something up, and with the kids running around and all the activity, and maybe that little girl I don't know, connected with the kids, maybe that little girl, ghost girl, connected with the kids, and that's why the activity started picking up. Hey, you guys, don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell icon, and that would really help me out a lot. Okay, so once again, I'm Andre, and thank you for listening and watching the Ghostfly podcast. You guys take care. See you on the next one.